Hey fellas, welcome to Friendship Shaving. Do you remember this rather special straight razor that was a lovely gift to me from Mark Davis, very kindly sent over? It was made by a gentleman called Christopher at ShaveSmith, and I have had terrible trouble honing this razor, but Christopher kindly gave me some advice and I believe I've got there. So I'm going to be shaving with this razor today, and I've got lathered up on my brush some Zingari Mann Senore, and this is their Sago formula. It's a very nice scented soap indeed, and you can see got my favourite little Boti brush handle with a very nice knot in one of my favourite knots, and it is the Synbad knot which I got from APShave Co. And I'm been lathering today in my shave churn, and put all the links below, guys. So let me just damp my face again, and I can start this shave. And while I'm putting on this lather, I'll chat to you about the soap. It has a really nice scent, but the top notes are lemon, lime, bergamot and lavender. And I tend to get them come out more when I first put the brush into the soap. Certainly get the lemon come out then. Middle notes are wood, sage, vetiver and anise. And last of all, the base notes are fir absolute, musk, oak moss and amber. So there's a lot there that I like. And when I smell this, I can tell that there is some citrus in it, and I'm getting a touch of lavender. I can tell it's there. Getting some sage and some of the other things going on. But blended all together, it just is a lovely, lovely scent, and one that I find difficult to describe, which is no help to you, but it's just very nice indeed. Yeah, definitely getting a little bit of that lavender through with the bergamot. And I've got a very nice lather, but a little bit of a thin lather today. I added water to my bowl before I started, so perhaps a drop too much water. And not enough shaving soap as I'm using a sample, but certainly got enough to be getting on with. Now, this razor, well, it has taken me a long time to hone this razor. Christopher from ShaveSmith kindly got in touch with me through my Instagram and offered me some advice, and it was really, I asked him if he had any tips for me, and he gave a really thorough answer and included a link to his website that I missed that talked about honing. And I have tried and tried and tried with this, but one of the things that I found most interesting, and it was one thing that I wasn't doing even when I owned a normal razor, was if I'm setting a bevel to set the bevel and hone the razor on that bevel setting stone until I can pull the razor midway through my arm or leg hair. I tend to use my legs, guys, because I have more hair there. And the razor will sort of bite and cut the hair. And that was something I was not doing. And I think generally my experience with this has taught me that I need to spend longer when I'm setting a bevel. You know, I can do the sort of testing the blade on a packing peanut or a tomato, and that works fine, but it wasn't cutting the hair halfway up. And in fact, with this razor, I kept trying and I kept trying and I kept trying, and I didn't get there. And then finally, I decided to strop the razor 100 laps, and suddenly, as I took the blade, you know, halfway up the length of hair on my arm, it was biting the hair and the hair was cutting and pinging off everywhere. So that strop was what was missing, and I don't know why I couldn't get it without the strop, but that was what it took. And then from there I continued to polish and perfect the bevel. So I got there. Now Chris was telling me, I mean, he was a very kind man, Chris at ShaveSmith. He offered to hone it for me. He even offered to cover the cost of postage, which was super kind, a very kind and a very helpful gentleman indeed. And I kindly declined his offer because I thought, well, I've got to learn how to do it myself, and I have learned a lot. One of the things suggested by Christopher was to set the bevel, strop the razor, and then have a shave to test the edge. And if it's uncomfortable, it's not ready. Now that alone has saved me so much time needlessly honing through my progression of stones, only to get to the point where I'm ready for a shave, but the razor is not ready. So that was just a superb a superb tip, and I will do that forevermore. In fact, I was watching Sean Staplefield the other day, honed a razor, bevel set a razor, honed the edge, and then rather poorly, and this was the point of the video, poorly honed it and shaved with it, and didn't have a problem. And when I did the same thing, although I was trying my best to hone it properly and to strop it properly, I found that it was quite comfortable. It was not the discomfort that I imagined was not there. I mean, I wouldn't like to shave with a 1K edge all the time, but certainly it needed refining, but nevertheless, I had a good shave. So there we are. I've learned quite a lot from this. The whole experience. Now, the blade itself is double tempered, which means, and Chris explained it, it means the steel is heated to a certain temperature and then it is quenched in oil, a special oil. And then after that, it is reheated and quenched again to get a sort of finished steel. Apparently what this does is it hardens the steel and it makes the edge stronger, less liable to chip and crumble. So you get a very good edge on the razor. I've probably described that in a way that doesn't do it justice, but so there we are. It is a hard steel, and Christopher did say that it could take an hour on my 1000 grit stone to set the bevel so that it's sharp enough to shave with. And true enough, it did take an hour. So there we go. I've been learning a lot, guys. And actually, while I'm having a shave with it, I don't know what I've done, because I had a more comfortable shave when I just tested the 1000 set edge. I mean, I've used my jeweler's loupe and I've looked at the edge and I've been careful and I've stropped it 100 times before I've come here, but somewhere that's a bit better, perhaps. Perhaps it is just the angle. So, like all things, a new type of razor, a different steel, and a big learning curve. And one thing I found very interesting, because I have water stones to hone with, and you can, on some, use a light oil to hone your razors with. Now, I had run out of clipper oil. I've got a little bottle of clipper oil to oil my clippers. I thought I would use that, which I did while I was practicing, And you know, just on the last stone, the finishing edge, and it's a far, far smoother experience than just using water or using washing up liquid. But unfortunately, I only had a little drop of clipper oil left, so I was able to have a play with it, and then it was gone. But what worked really, really well and it was much better than washing up liquid, was I used my little Arco shaving stick and I just rubbed it up and down the stone about 4 or 5, 6 times maybe, and that really made a difference and really helped the blade slip over the stone. Yeah, that's better. I think I had the angle wrong, guys. Such a fine margin sometimes between a great shave and a not quite so great shave. But this is a Tanto style razor. I believe the point is called the reverse Tanto. A Tanto style razor. I said that wrong, didn't I? A Tanto is a small Japanese knife. It's a Japanese style razor. And I think this point is called a reverse Tanto. Although one of my viewers christened this point the Spanish Inquisition point, and that name has stuck. It amused me very much, and it certainly looks like a Spanish Inquisition point. I nearly got myself there. There we are. So there we go, my ShaveSmith Kamisori style Japanese razor. And Christopher forges these himself. I think that's incredible. That probably makes him a professional forger. The jokes don't get any better than that, I'm afraid, on my channel, guys. But it's a fantastic skill, isn't it, to be able to take, you know, steel and make something like this and hone it and refine it and sell them. As being shave ready. There are indeed some very talented and skillful people in the world. It's hot and my skin is drying. And the blade there is just starting to judder across my top lip. But I think I've about finished there. I've gotten away with it. Oh, a little bit there. Let's have a little bit of just up there. Actually, the point, for all that it looks lethal, is very handy up and around the nose here. And I think I've got a very nice shave with it today. That is my first 2-pass shave with the razor. Fantastic. I've done it and I'm still alive. It looks more frightening than it is. Oh, I've definitely not done so well on the neck there. I'm gonna go over that again, guys. Practice required. Now usually when I go back, this is where I make myself sore, and this is usually why I stick to a 2-pass shave. Feels a little better. Can you see over there? That, just got to be careful at that point because it just, my skin folded slightly there. But there we are, guys. That's going to do for me. I've made it through with the ShaveSmith Kamisori style razor, and absolutely brilliant. I'd just like to thank Christopher for his very kind advice. It really helped me because I've been trying to get that shaveable for ages, guys. So there we are, I did it. Now, if you're watching this, don't forget, there's a giveaway on one of my other videos. Check that out. It is an unboxing video or a show and tell video. Check that out. And next time I have a shave, it will be with my Super 109, my vintage Gillette razor, and I will announce 2 winners to the giveaway. So please have a look, guys. That's it from me. Except to say that this soap, guys, I like it, but I'm picking up the sage there. It's a really nice mix of everything that it just works for me. Very nice indeed, and I'm sorry I can't describe it any better than that, but that is Zingari Mann, Senore. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time around. Bye bye now.